All right, all brothers remove their head coverings, and all sisters pray with their heads covered. Let's open up with a prayer. Face the east. Abba Father, Yahweh, Elohim, the Allah of Abraham, Yashak, and Yaakov. Covenant Father, Elohim of Yahshua, we thank you once again, Yah, for allowing us an opportunity to gather, to sup out of your word and rightly divide these scriptures and find the secrets that you share with those that love you, Yahweh, and rest their faith on you, Yah. Yah, as we humbly come together, Yahweh, and sup on this word, Yahweh, we ask you a special request, Yahweh. We ask that you put a hedge of protection about the mother of our congregations, Mother Azariah, who had an accident yesterday and is preparing to go into emergency surgery. We ask that you please show her favor, Yahweh. If you look at any goodness and righteousness she's done in her life as serving as a mother for many of us, we ask that you keep that mercy with her, Yahweh. We don't ask anything according to our own will. We ask everything according to your will, Yahweh. But we make that special supplication to let you know that she is special unto us, Yahweh. And we ask that you also bless those individuals that are taking care of her, Yahweh, and her family that has been sacrificing to keep her through these times, Yahweh. We ask that you put a hedge of protection about them as well and give them the strength, Yahweh, to push through these tumultuous times, Yah. Yeah, these things, once again, we do not ask anything according to our own will. We ask these things all according to your will, for we understand that these things will bring glory unto you, Yahweh, when your believers put their faith and their trust in you, Yah. So, Yah, all these things we humbly come before you, and we thank and pray through your holy, humble anointed Son, Yahshua HaMashiach, in which all praise, majesty, might, and dominion resides here and forevermore. Through Yahshua HaMashiach, we thank and pray. Amen.
You got allergies too, Wop?
No.
Oh.
What? You need a light?
Is that the extra Bible?
No, that's yours. Yours 1611 right here if you want to use the 1611. And just cut that light on. Yeah, you can take that whole thing.
You need
Same exact one that.
Mm-hmm. There's a light right there so you can see it, because you know that print kind of small. All right, shalom. My name is Yadon Yasharal, my brother Yonatan Yasharal. Shalom. And title of today's Bible study is The Kingdom Cometh. The Kingdom Cometh. And with all the events going on now, the theatrics that's going on over there in the Middle East and Europe and United States and all these wars and rumors of wars mixed with all the internet prophets that are claiming to know when the world is going to end, and all the fake Christs and the fake Christ that died, and all these things going on. It says that these signs are going to get progressively worse and more realistic, to the point that if it were possible, it will fool the very elect. And why it won't be possible to fool the very elect is because the elect are going to study their scriptures and be led of the Spirit. And the prophecies in the Bible is one of the things that separates our book from everybody else's book. Our prophecies have specifications and timelines and places and specific people that it's going to impact. So it's very important that we pay attention to the prophecies of this book. Now, I'm not a heavily prophetic teacher. I don't really teach a lot of the prophecy because there's a lot of room to, be misled. And there's so much commandment and behavioral things in the book that I leave that to other brothers that are a lot more talented with the Hebrew and looking at the prophecies. But what we do and we should understand is the prophecies pertaining what we're working for, where we're trying to reach, and what is going to happen prior to the return of the Mashiach. So that when the people come and claim that they're the Messiah or they're Christ or they're Yahshua, we have some basic prophecies that can dispel all that, and we can know for sure that this is not that person. Now, when we know for sure it is that person, we won't really know until it happens. But we can look at certain basic prophecies and know that can't be true. You cannot be that person according to prophecy. So we're going to first open up in Acts chapter 1. Acts chapter 1, and we're going to read the first few verses. And again, for those that missed our opening prayer, we asked that all the brothers and sisters, if they could say a special prayer for our mother, Azariah, who had a stroke and fractured her hip and her thigh bone and has to go into surgery, which is a very dangerous situation for her. So we asked the prayer saints and the prayer warriors to send a special prayer out for our mother, that she has a safe surgery and recovery. Acts chapter 1, and we're going to start this at verse 1. And shalom, brother Yael, Malachi, Israel, and sister Canaan. Good to see y'all. And shalom, sister Terry, sister Tafara, by the way, sitting right across the room. Go ahead, bro.
Acts chapter 1 and verse 1. The former treaties have I made, O Theophilus, of all that Yahshua began to both do and teach, until the day in which he was taken up. After that, he, through the Ruach Kodesh, the Holy Spirit, had given commandments unto the disciples whom he had chosen, to whom also he showed himself alive after his passion, by many infallible proofs, being seen of them 40 days, and speaking of the things pertaining to the kingdom of Yahweh. And being assembled together with them, commanded them that they should not depart from Jerusalem, but wait for the promise of the Father, which says he, you have heard of me. For Yohanan truly baptized with water, but you shall be baptized with the Ruach Kodesh not many days hence. When they therefore were come together, they asked of him, saying, Master, will you at this time restore again the kingdom to Yasharal? And he said unto them, It is not for you to know the times or the seasons which the Father has put in his own power, but you shall receive power after that the Ruach Kodesh is come upon you, and you shall be witnesses unto me, both in Jerusalem and in all Judea, and in Samaria, and unto the uttermost part of the earth.
All right, so as he returned, he was seen for his 40 days, and he was there was another 8 days, and then the few days passed when he said a little time. That would equal the 50 days for him to return unto Pentecost for Shabbat or Shavuot. So that's what was happening there with the 40 days, which was interesting, him fulfilling prophecy in that. But one thing that you're seeing here, this is Acts chapter 1, and the Mashiach has just returned, and they're already asking, hey, are you here to restore the kingdom? So they were in a very similar situation to us, where they were being occupied by Greeks and the Romans, the Europeans, while, being in their own land. Now, the difference is we are in a foreigner's land being occupied. Same way. So they understood the prophecies. They understood that the prophet like unto Moshe was supposed to come back and help to restore the kingdom. So this is something that we were consistently looking for, the kingdom to be restored. So this is something that
didn't just start with the New Testament. This is something that was in scripture that they have been waiting on. So let's go to Isaiah, Yeshayah, chapter 63. So they not waiting. So, hey, are you here to take us to heaven? They didn't say that. They said, are you here to restore the kingdom? So they understood there wasn't going to be no you die and then you go to heaven, or Yahshua come down and then all of a sudden he's taking his people up to heaven. They looking to, are you going to restore the kingdom here on earth? Isaiah, Yeshayah, chapter 63. And this chapter is one that you want to star and highlight, because this is the chapter that will talk about the return of the Mashiach. It's prophesied for him to return. And when he returns, it's not quite like how we were taught in the churches, that he was going to come, you know, smiling and holding everybody's hands. It's an awakening to let you know that, hey, the Most High did not change. He didn't all of a sudden, you know, got older and got softer like, you know, grandparents after a while. They get older, they get soft. They let the grandchildren run all over the place and tear the place up. But when you was a kid, you know, they'll whoop you from across the room. The Most High don't operate like that. He is the same then, now, and forever.
Yeshayah 63 and verse 1. Who is this that comes from Edom with dyed garments from Basra? This that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength. I that speak righteousness, mighty to save.
Okay, so who is this that comes from Edom, Esau, Idumea, where it says that Yahweh hates Esau, so there's obviously judgment going on there, and he has this dyed garments. So what does he have, like a nice, you know, nice garment that's dyed real nice, tie-dyed, or got a nice little design, Kodesh fresh? You know, he got a dashiki on. He got something like this. All right, let's go to the next verse to see what's dyeing his shirt.
Verse 2.
Pun unintended.
Verse 2. Why are you red in your apparel, and your garments like him that treads in the wine fat? I have trodden the winepress alone, and of the people there was none with me. For I will tread them in my anger, and trample them in my fury. And their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my raiment.
So this is bloodshed. This is the Messiah, the Mashiach, the one that they got, you know, the wink and bang Jesus that they got to be doing that thing from that movie. This is who they're expecting to come back here smiling, but he's telling you right now, I'm coming back upset because I done gave my life so that you can have an opportunity to have this grace period where you're not receiving the just punishment that you deserve. And the people that he's coming to judge did not take that spit on his sacrifice and chose to disregard all the sacrifice that he made. Go ahead.
Verse 4. For the day of vengeance is in my heart, and the year of my redeemed is come. And I looked, and there was none to help. And I wondered that there was none to uphold. Therefore my own arm brought salvation unto me, and my fury it upheld me. And I will tread down the people in my anger, and make them drunk in my fury, and I will bring down their strength to the earth. I will mention the loving kindnesses of Yahweh, and the praises of Yahweh according to all that Yahweh has bestowed on us, and the great goodness toward the house of Yahshua, which he has bestowed on them according to his mercies, and according to the multitude of his loving kindnesses. For he said, surely they are my people, children that will not lie. So he was their Savior. In all their affliction he was afflicted, and the angel of his presence saved them. In his love and in his pity he redeemed them, and he bare them, and carried them all the days of old. But they rebelled and vexed his Ruach Kodesh. Therefore he was turned to be their enemy, and he fought against them.
So he came to the earth with this word, gave the word to us as the Spirit to guide us and keep us in the way, and we just constantly rebelled against it to the point where he had to fight against us, because that was either He fight against us to stop us from moving towards wickedness, killing ourselves, or he just let us go and we just die off as a nation. Because the Most High is not a liar. You're going to reap what you sow. And once we made that covenant, this was the results of that. So this is why he is angry. Go ahead.
Verse 9. Oh, this is verse 11. Then he remembered the days of old, Moshe and his people, saying, where is he that brought them up out of the sea with the shepherd of his flock? Where is he that put his Ruach Kodesh within him, that led them by the right hand of Moshe with his glorious arm, dividing the water before them to make himself an everlasting name, that led them through the deep as a horse in the wilderness, that they should not stumble? As a beast goes down into the valley, the Spirit of Yahweh caused him to rest. So did you lead your people to make yourself a glorious name. Look down from heaven and behold from the habitation of your holiness and of your glory. Where is your zeal and your strength? The sounding of your bowels and of your mercies toward me, are they restrained? Doubtless you are our Father, though Abraham be ignorant of us, and Yasharal acknowledge us not. You, O Yahweh, are our Father, our Redeemer. Your name is from everlasting. O Yahweh, why have you made us to err from your ways and hardened our heart from your fear? Return for your servants' sake the tribes of your inheritance. The people of your holiness have possessed it but a little while. Our adversaries have trodden down your sanctuary. We are yours. You never bear rule over them. They were not called by your name.
So we're pleading with Yah to release us. Even in this time, it's the same situation. Jerusalem is in the same state, overrun by strangers and heathens running it. Let's move on. Let's go to Amos chapter 9. Amos chapter 9. And Amos is after Hosea and Yoel. Right before Obadiah and Jonah.
Amos chapter 9 and verse 1. I saw Yahweh standing upon the altar, and he said, smite the lintel of the door that the posts may shake, and cut them in the head, all of them, and I will slay the last of them with the sword. He that flees of them shall not flee away, and he that escapes of them shall not be delivered. Though they dig into the grave, there shall my hand take them. Though they climb up to heaven, there will I bring them down. And though they hide themselves in the top of Carmel, I will search and take them out there. And though they be hid from my sight in the bottom of the sea, there will I command the serpent, and he shall bite them. And though they go into captivity before their enemies, there will I command the sword, and it shall slay them. And I will set my eyes upon them for evil and not for good.
So is this something new? Is this a new thing that he's inventing? That he's just saying, I'm tired of it. Let me just go ahead and do this. No, this was already in place by the time we had already transgressed, because this was part of the promise. So just because you are in punishment doesn't mean that you can continue doing the deed that got you into punishment. It's the same situation as if your father tell you you're grounded because you got bad grades, so you can't go anywhere. So you come home with some more bad grades figuring like, hey, I'm already grounded. What you think he gonna do? The punishment's gonna get worse. Go ahead.
Verse 5. And my sovereign Yahweh of hosts is he that touches the land, and it shall melt. And all that dwell therein shall mourn, and it shall rise up wholly like a flood, and shall be drowned as by the flood of Mitzrayim. It is he that builds his stories in the heaven, and has founded his troop in the earth. He that calls for the waters of the sea, and pours them out upon the face of the earth. Yahweh is his name. Are you not as the children of the Ethiopians unto me, O children of Yasharal, says Yahweh? Have not I brought up Yasharal out of the land of Mitzrayim, and the Philistines from Caphtor, and the Syrians from Ker? Behold, the eyes of my sovereign Yahweh are upon the sinful kingdom, and I will destroy it from off the face of the earth, saving that I will not utterly destroy the house of Jacob, says Yahweh. For lo, I will command, and I will sift the house of Yasharal among all nations, like as corn is sifted in a sieve. Yet shall not the least grain fall upon the earth. All the sinners of my people shall die by the sword, which say the evil shall not overtake nor prevent us.
So this is talking about the people that are saying, oh, you know, you don't have to keep the commandments. We good. We okay. No evil's going to happen to us. You don't have to keep these commandments. If you continue in that fashion until this time of judgment, it's already written what's going to happen to you. Because all these tribulations and things that come into our life is designed to chasten us, to keep us back on the right path. So when you turn around and you tell somebody else who's going through something that, oh, you know, continue doing what you're doing, that's even more doubly wicked. Go ahead.
Verse 11. In that day will I rise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen, and close up the breaches thereof. And I will raise up his ruins, and I will build it as in the days of old.
All right, the tabernacle of David. If you look over there at the city of David now, the real city of David is in ruins. This is like rocks. They're trying to piece little pieces together. So this is prophecy of what's going to happen in the future. This hasn't happened now. Because the place that they call Jerusalem now, they got, you know, Jerusalem one way and city of David the other way. And we like, which way to go? Left. Don't make any sense. It don't add up.
Verse 12, that they may possess the remnant of Edom and of all the heathen, which are called by my name, says Yahweh that does this. Behold, the days come, says Yahweh, that the plowman shall overtake the reaper, and the treader of grapes him that sows seed. And the mountains shall drop sweet wine, and all the hills shall melt. And I will bring again the captivity of my people of Yasharal, and they shall build the waste cities, and inhabit them. And they shall plant vineyards, and drink the wine thereof. They shall also make gardens, and eat the fruit of them.
All right, so when it's talking about 14, I will bring again the captivity of my people, it's talking about I'm going to end the captivity and bring the people back. That's the statement that they're making. So this is what they were asking for in Acts 1. Say, hey, are you here to restore the kingdom? Because they knew the prophecies from the prophets. They knew what the end game was. They had all this information from Enoch. Enoch was talking about this stuff. Go ahead.
And I will plant them upon their land, and they shall no more be pulled up out of their land, which I have given them, says Yahweh your Elohim.
Now we know that hasn't happened yet, because we still being uprooted. They still kicking tourists out. When we come there to visit, they kicking tourists out. And you look at the people that are in the land that claim to be us, they getting kicked out of certain properties, saying that, oh, well, we own this, we don't own that, and they're fighting over land. So we know that hasn't happened, because you still got so-called people that are of the land being pulled out of their own land. Golden Heights and all those areas. So we know this is prophecy that hasn't happened. But when we return, that's it. That's the end game. We're not leaving. Let's go to Marcus chapter 13. Mark chapter 13.
Mark chapter 13 and verse 1. And as he went out of the temple, one of his disciples said unto him, Master, see what manner of stones and what buildings are here. And Yeshua answering said unto him, See you these great buildings? There shall not be left one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives over against the temple, Kepha and Jacob, Peter and James, and Johanan and Andrew asked him privately, Tell us when these things shall be, and what shall be the sign when all these things shall be fulfilled? And Yeshua answering them began to say, Take heed, lest any man deceive you. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Mashiach, and shall deceive many.
All right, so we know that that's one of the warning signs. Many, not a few, not one, but many shall come claiming that they are the Mashiach, that they are the Messiah, and shall deceive many. And we've seen many people being deceived. There's huge congregations right now that are led by the people who believe that their leader who died was the Messiah. So all these are warning signs. Go ahead.
Verse 7. And when you shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, be you not troubled, for such things must need be. But the end shall not be yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be earthquakes in diverse places, and there shall be famines and troubles. These are the beginnings of sorrows.
All right. So you see something that was prophesied thousands of years ago, but you're starting to see these things begin to come into place. So you have the wars and the rumors of wars.